Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share to you things that you should know if you want to become a medical doctor in Malaysia. I'm working as a medical doctor for 6 years. I have graduated in year 2014. I started my housemanship in 2015 and completed in 2017. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you a little bit on medical school. As we know, medical school, it can be very expensive, pricey, the cost to get a medical degree. So it can range from 250,000 to 650,000 depending on where you pursue your medical degree for a duration of 5 to 6 years. Basically, you go for theory, practical, clinicals, and then attachment in the hospital. As all of us know, medical school can be very time consuming, costly. Basically, you spend your youth there. So either you get your sponsorship, you get your loans, ataupun mak ayah kaya ke boleh sponsor ke. So yeah, that's the lucky one. So finally, yeah, you're graduating. You're waiting to enter another phase of your life where you're gonna face a lot of challenges and makes you grow stronger and more mature. Next, I'm going to talk about waiting period. Once you have graduated, yes, of course, you can't wait. You're so eager to start working. Buat apa nak tunggu lama-lama kan? Because since your knowledge is still so fresh, but during my time in year 2014-2015, waiting period was around 6 to 9 months. Can you imagine 6 to 9 months? You're unemployed. You're basically sitting at home and not earning anything, not learning anything. I'm gonna talk more about that later. Why is it so you have to wait for so long? This is because each year there are many medical students are graduating, yet our MOH don't have enough hospitals with facilities to train all the doctors. This explains. What do you do when you're waiting all this between 6 to 9 months or longer? Because now it's the pandemic, it makes it even worse. Yeah, you start to look for a job. So you start to look for a job. Usually the dilemma is you get rejected because you're always rejected with the same reason, which is overqualified. Because most of them, especially you are looking for medical related field like clinic assistant, pharmacy assistant, because they know you're not going to stay long and they're going to teach you everything, and then later on you're just going to leave. They'll just give you a reason like you're overqualified. That's first. So at the end you go to a field which is non-medical related. The other problem you face during that time is, okay fine, I'm going to work as a cashier, or I'm going to work as a part-time tuition teacher, or that. You are afraid that you might forget all your medical knowledge. You know, your skills, your knowledge might get rusty. When I had a tough time, because I came from a small town where I don't have access to a lot of clinic assistants, to clinics or pharmacies. I did try, but yeah, got rejected with the same reason. So ended up I was working as admin in the language center. Yeah, it's okay, fine. At least I think I'm making some money and yeah, being a little bit productive. Then I'm just sitting at home and counting the days when I'm going to get called for the SPA interview, when I'm going to start work. Finally, you get called for your SPA interview, and then you're gonna register your e-houseman to select your hospital. It is not easy. You need to grab your seats, like hot seats, just like what happens when the AstraZeneca vaccine. Okay, everyone is like rush for it with the internet breakdown, and also you just grab whatever vacancies available. This hospital is gonna decide your life for the next 2 years or more. There are a total of 6 departments for you to rotate in. You start with the medical, surgical, pediatric, you have orthopedic, ONG, and one elective posting. That elective posting is depending on your hospital. It can either be psychiatry, emergency and trauma, anesthesiology, or primary healthcare, or we see it as a KK lah, klinik kesihatan. Once you enter each department, there's a phase, we call it as tagging. Tagging, it means you work for a longer duration. It is like basically like introduction to that department where you learn their system, how it works. You get to know your doctors, your specialists, your senior MOs, and then the nurses, how the wards look like. Train you before you are independent to handle cases, before you can off tag and start on call. On call meaning you are independent. There are lesser doctors working, maybe like one person in charge of one ward. This tagging can last from about maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, depending how fast you catch. Learn up all the skills. You will be assessed by your mentor, and then they think you are qualified, you have your knowledge. Okay, then yeah, off tag and start to on call. Basically, in medical department, what are the cases you should know? So yeah, the main thing like DKA, how to handle if you happen to see during the night patient, DKA patient, how can you manage it? Fitting patients, all these give you adrenaline rush. In each department, you will learn a lot of procedures. Example, orthopedic, you learn about amputation, you learn about toilet and suturing, how to see x-rays, different types of fractures. In ONG, you learn your scans. Next is about extension. Yeah, extension, it can be a nightmare for housemen. Yeah. What are the reasons for extension? Why do you get extended? It can be many reasons. It can be either you don't complete up your logbook, think you are not qualified, not enough of a knowledge. So it can be that are the reasons. Duration for extension, it can be either 1 month, 2 months, or longer. But basically, in a department, you should not stay longer than 8 months. What happens when you stay longer than 8 months? You'll be transferred to another hospital for a better environment, I guess. 1 out of 5 housemen quit each year. Why so? There are many reasons behind it. It is not easy to make such decision. Despite spending half decade, 5-6 years on your medical school, spending maybe $500,000 for cash on your education, then at the end you choose to go missing in action, or you choose to resign from KKM. There can be many reasons behind it. First of all, it can be either they are not prepared, not well informed. You know, like this is the motive of me making this video, because so many of us, we have no idea how this housemanship works. It will be better if you are well informed before that, so that you will be mentally prepared. Another thing, it can be either is not your ambition, it is not your interest at first, but due to your parents, okay, your family members, they have high hope on you, hoping for you to be a doctor, at least a doctor in the family. In my own experience, I have few colleagues. So during my 2 years of housemanship, I have seen my own colleague who goes missing, and trust me, till now I have no news of that particular person. He is a bright student, but I have no idea what happened in between. That is really sad. Let's talk about what keeps you going during your housemanship. Yes, there's a good friends, of course. The first one I would say is your good colleague. Your colleagues eventually become your family member. Maybe you're far away from your family. Hangouts after your work, after your on-calls, during your post-call. Yes, you go out with your friends, have a chit-chat, sleep over at your friend's place. Definitely it gives a lot of mind relax. It makes a lot of difference. Second, I would say from your family, especially if you are living near to your family, that's even better, because they will help you to prepare the food, your laundry and all. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that, because during tagging, you go in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you'll come back home maybe around 10, 11. Next is your medical officers and your specialists. Some can be very malignant, not to deny that, some can be very malignant. So, but there are also some angels there. In one particular posting, yes, I was new in that department, and then I still remember that I was crying because of getting shouted from one of the medical officer, embarrassed. But the other medical officer came and just console you, give a pat on your shoulder. You just feel so much relief. It's okay, it's not a big issue, we're gonna go through it fine. That keeps you going. And the awesome nurses who are so helpful to you. So I still remember in my medical department, it was my first posting. I had difficulties in blood taking because in medical department you do a lot of blood taking and changing granulas, especially end-stage kidney patients. So difficult to withdraw their blood. So I still remember that one particular morning I was trying to withdraw blood, poking so many times on that patient. Thank God he was so nice, and at the end I just gave up and asked help from one of the nurses. She was so kind of her, just and she got it. And lastly, it's your patients. You're seeing your patients is getting discharged, getting well. When you see him coming into the ward so easy, and finally you see their progress daily, getting discharged, walking independently, that awesome feeling definitely keeps you going. Once you have completed all the department, the 6 postings, and then you will be done with your housemanship, waiting to be a medical officer, which you will be getting your APC number. In conclusion, housemanship is definitely not easy to go through it, but it is not impossible. You just grow stronger out of it. If you think that is meant for you, yeah, go for it. So don't ever make the mistake. Think wisely and make the decision. So today, I'm a medical doctor of 6 years and I'm a mother of 2. It is not easy to juggle between my work and home, kids, but I am happy with my decision because it was my childhood ambition to be a doctor. Somehow I did it. Not easy, I would say. I'm not super bright student during my medical school or the outstanding one during my housemanship, but yes, I just made it. So guys, this is the end of the video, and do give me a thumbs up if you watch the video all the way till the end, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch more of the content. If you're already a doctor or going to be a doctor, do share your experience at the comment below. I hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you.